Hello, this is Tom and Heather
Hi.
from Shadowfields, and this is Monday in the studio.
In the studio. And please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so we can stay connected with you every time we go live. And click that notification bell too. It's important.
It is very important.
Yes.
That's how are we going to become famous otherwise?
I know. Unless you click that notification bell, we will not
become famous.
We will not take it to the next step. Not at all. Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Shirley and Dave. And hi, Tony. And whoever else is online with us tonight. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Signing with us.
Hello, George. George the dog is with us this evening. Yes. He's always barking, wanting to spend time with me. It's true. It's a dog thing.
Well, we have a special guest tonight.
Yes, but before that,
yes,
we do need to talk about a couple things.
Okay.
So more gear was purchased this week. So I do want to get to gear first. So Mr. McCowan, what did we do?
We bought another U67 microphone.
No, this is such an addiction for you. How are we going to move beyond this?
I took some of my most recent microphones that I typically would play on piano, sometimes like on acoustic guitar where you're strumming.
Mm-hmm.
And I put them all together and I recorded each of the instruments and I'd listen back to them and go, which one do I like?
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up liking the U67 that I had. So I decided that I'm going to get another one.
Now, I did assist with some of the testing.
You did?
I did. I was a pivotal part of making this decision, wasn't I?
Yes.
No, I wasn't. But it was actually really good. I enjoyed the experience. We tested, was it 4?
No, there was three
different ones. Well, I thought there was 4. Anyway, it was a great experience.
Well, there was 4 when we considered
Yeah, I know.
We did a lot of other experimenting. So
yeah. So it was excellent experiment.
Experimenting.
Experiment, yes.
Not experiment.
Oh,
experiment. Yes. We've gone through this already.
So I'm kind of wondering if Steve and Becky, where Steve and Becky have been.
I don't know. Let's drive down there and find them.
I know.
In Nashville.
Absolutely. So tell us about, what else did you purchase?
Oh, I purchased a bunch of orchestra samples and things like that. Because I found some that work easier and quicker, and I need to go faster.
Yes. Everyone needs to go faster.
We finished up a little thing for Dan Azio.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there was a tiny orchestral part, but it took me too long to get the articulations right.
Mm-hmm.
So I got another one that gives me the articulations I want easier.
I see.
So I could play it much faster.
Was that the one that wasn't the one you shared with me. The one you shared with me was a piano one.
Oh, I also had a piano one too. Okay, well, which is funny because we never use piano samples. We always play the real piano.
We always have the live thing. I know.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that was the gear. Anything else you want to confess?
I worked on one of my own songs this weekend. Yeah.
And we also worked on a Shadowfield song.
We did.
Tom did the drums on a brand new song that we've written.
Yeah.
And
I got to tell you, I don't know if you could see that on my
fingers bruised.
My
it's the little fingers.
My little finger is bruised. Well, it's actually bent now too. I think I actually broke it or something like that. But
playing the drums.
I play drums pretty hard.
Yeah.
And you can't really see it, but my fingertip is actually bruised, and so is my leg. I won't drop my pants and show you. You'll have to take my word for it.
I just want to say, when you
Hi, Kurt.
When you go all out, you give it your all, right?
Yeah.
And I think people know that. They know that you're hurting yourself in the process. That's why they enjoy working with you.
And I had drummer leg that night when I went to bed. I had drummer leg really bad,
and that's just a
drummer leg it's the inner thigh caused by you're working
on the kick drum,
hip flexor.
Right? Is that you're working on the kick drum?
And it's because I'm not keeping my knee and my foot in a perfect alignment.
Okay.
And because of that, it puts extra stress. And also when I play the kick drum, most guys that are intelligent use more of their ankle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using the entire leg, to get the stomping sound I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Anyway, it worked.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
So you broke your pinky and your leg. But anyway, we got the drums down on that song.
Okay.
And also we did the bass. So
it was just a scratch bass.
A scratch bass. Was it scratch drums too then, right?
No, those are final drums. I'm not doing that again.
All right. So just so you're aware, we're working on the community side in the community studio. We're working on songs that for Shadowfields, and then Tom's been working on another little project of his own. So this will be fun.
I'm still digging up the past. I'm still back in the year 2000 when I wrote a bunch of songs and I never released them. And so I go back to them, I listen to them, and I go, well, I could sing that better, or I could play that better, or in this case, everything that I played and sang, I kept.
Yeah.
But then I put different drums because it was a drum machine before.
So where can people find all this work that you're going to be putting out?
Well, there's the Undoubting Thomas.
So Undoubting Thomas on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I only got 2 songs out right now. This will be the third one.
Yeah. But
and then
still,
shortly thereafter,
nice.
A fourth, maybe.
Yep.
We'll see.
That's awesome.
It's fun. It's a little bit, it's different. It gives me a chance to play electric guitar more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so.
That's very good. So Dave Narrett and Shirley are on, and Dave's song is going to be coming out, I think, is it December 4th? Something like that.
Is it the 4th or 5th?
I think it was the 4th. Okay. But I know as far as the community studio, David was in, and he was in for a weekend. And so his songs are coming out one by one. So we're excited to have that as well.
Yeah.
This week on Thursday is an open mic at Pollyanna in Roselle. So we'd love to have those of you who are here in Illinois come out to see us. That'll be one of the very last open mics that we have. Our final one will be on December 14th. So hopefully we're going to see you out.
Are we going to play on December 14th, you think?
You and I?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I also think I'll be dressed up like Santa. So just beware.
I think that we'll close up. I'll learn the Carol Burnett theme song. I'm so glad we had this time together.
Yes. So we do have someone in the studio tonight. So we did some discussing about gear. And tonight we're going to talk about songwriting with our guest.
Okay.
So who's our guest?
Our guest is Luis
Martinez. So please welcome Luis. Hello. Come on, sit down.
Thank you.
Slide up.
Welcome to Monday in the studio.
Thanks. Oh.
Yeah. So we've met you through open mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went out and I headhunted him.
You reached out to me on Instagram, I think it was.
Yeah, I was like, I follow other people who follow, and I'm like this. I don't know if I'm a stalker or not, but I don't think so. But I'm like, how could this person know this person? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I really like his music. So I was listening, and I'm like, hey, I really like what you're doing here. Come join us. And so you came to that, I think, but other people had invited you.
Yeah. Rick, who hosts his own open mic, he mentioned it, and I've known about it for a while. Just never had the chance to.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad we met you, and you were able to do a song with us here in the studio.
Oh
right?
Yeah, and I'm excited about it. It sounds amazing.
So we wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about like who you are. Why don't you introduce yourself? Like, where are you from? What do you do? What are some of your hobbies? Just a little bit about you.
Yeah. My name is Luis. I'm originally from Houston.
Really?
I made my way up to Illinois for school and kind of just stuck around here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Grown to love it.
It's the center of the universe, though, because if you take both sides of the map and go like that, I swear it hits Chicago.
That does not sound wrong.
No. I'm not wrong.
That's one of my favorite phrases. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I know.
What I tell people is that I work in like corporate finance, which is very exciting stuff. Oh, yes. But I moonlight as a singer-songwriter.
Isn't that great though? Because are you an accountant?
No. Gosh, no.
Oh yeah. Okay, no. So you're more on the finance strategy side.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just gives me the opportunity to do this, to write music, go out and play and meet new people and just have fun. It's not extremely stressful, the work, so it's a good balance. And find that music, I've always just enjoyed playing music and listening to. I think music is such a big part of my life. It's always been that.
What are some groups that have inspired you? Some your favorite singers and bands
besides me.
Besides me. Besides you mean Shadowfields?
So bands such as like Bright Eyes, the Mountain Goats, like very kind of indie bands that indie folk rock were some of the bigger inspirations. There's one of my biggest inspirations. His name is Joe Pug. He has his own songwriter podcast, which I highly recommend, where he interviews other songwriters. But he's the way that he works with like words, it's incredible, and it's just a huge inspiration, and also like the musicality as well. So those are some, and also kind of like pop musicians as well. Anything from, I guess I would consider like George Strait, kind of pop country. I wouldn't say Jason Isbell being pop, but like he's also been a bigger, especially for the song we will be discussing, was one of the biggest inspirations for that as well.
Yeah, very melodious.
Yeah.
So when did you get into songwriting?
So that one's hard to pinpoint because I've always enjoyed writing music, always, as far as I can remember. I started out playing trumpet when I was a kid, and through that I got really like into kind of orchestral music. This was like middle school, and started messing around with like composing with like notation software, which is where I really started getting into like writing things with structure, with a beginning, middle, and an end that had some sort of like theme, musically speaking. I'd always, and I remember like as a little kid always, when I would go to bed, I was very little, like singing out like random lyrics to non-existent songs. I would just like make up on.
Hey, you and I would get along then. Yeah, that happens in my house
you do that
all the time.
You do that to songs that we actually have written. Random lyrics to.
Or parody songs too, you know. But yeah, but in terms of like when I actually got into writing music, I'd say it was around like 2009, 2010 is when I started like writing some songs, and when I got into guitar. So my second instrument, I guess I would say, would be the piano, which is where I wrote some of my earlier lyrical.
I've been hearing you a little bit more playing piano online too. Not that I'm stalking you in any way.
I just love that instrument. It's one where I can I know it way more intimately than I do the guitar. But I've written some songs on it. I thought I've written more on the piano, but not really.
Yeah.
But I have transition over to guitar because it's much more mobile, much easier. Yeah. And
we knew a person who she used to drag the gigantic piano up like stairs, boom,
for like open mics and
open mics, and we're like, oh my gosh! I mean, she was
small.
She was a very small person, and the piano was bigger than she was. So that's the picture that I see in my head of, people
like
struggling.
A large digital.
People struggling to get that piano.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's a little bit more mobile, that's for sure.
And it's not, there are some open mics that do have like pianos sometimes available, which is always nice, but very few. But yeah, I got into songwriting around really when I was in college, and did that for the time I was in college.
But it sounds like you've been experimenting with writing ever since you've been little. Like it's just something that's innate inside of you.
Yeah. Music's always been kind of a driving force. And then I spent some time like not writing, which is when I didn't realize like how much of an impact that had, like a negative, like, or rather not a positive impact, or I wasn't really in music as much anymore. And this was like after graduating up until like the, 2022 or whenever I started kind of getting back into it. And it was then that when I started playing again and writing and playing in front of people.
Cathartic, isn't it? Yeah.
How much it meant to me. So so I've been writing a lot since then, and it's just it's a fun thing.
Did you have a question or two?
No, I'm just listening. I'm like the bystander.
But I know we're always interested in in a person's process, like how they write, and we'd love to hear from you. Like, how do you get inspired to write, or do you even, is it even inspiration and you just write?
Lyrics first, music first.
Yeah.
That's a good question. And the answer is it depends. It's all over the place. Sometimes I get inspired. Sometimes I push myself to just write something.
Yeah.
But I think maybe where it all tends to really start, and it might be, then the answer is lyrics, is my mind does not stop. Like, it's just always like constantly going. And sometimes like I'll say something in my brain I'm like, oh, actually
that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's been, writing tends to help kind of at least alleviate that, at least have like an outlet for, so that it just doesn't all kind of live up there. And then it's sometimes when I say it out loud, I kind of like say it with a melody or sing it lyrically, so to speak. And that's part of the process. It's kind of the translation from just the words in my brain to paper. So, and sometimes it is, it's inspired from experiences or from other music or from things I've read, things I've watched, things I'm just kind of like feeling in the moment, things I imagine is a big part as well. Like, I could imagine, like, see like something happening and like put imagination to it.
Storytelling in your mind. Yeah, that's cool.
And so the music tends to come after. There are very rare occasions where the music comes first. Sometimes it happens and I just have to find words to it, but it tends to be the lyrics come before the music.
Tom Petty was that way though too.
I find it easier to do lyrics before music. If you do the music and then trying to put lyrics to it, that becomes a lot more difficult. At least we've found after hundreds of songs.
Don't ever write the chorus without doing the verses first.
If you got the, no, I don't agree with that. But with the,
think that's important.
With the lyrics, you can sit down. I can see how Elton John did it. With a stack of lyrics. That's the way I used to write with my previous band. Was the drummer would write, and he'd give me a stack of lyrics, and I would just sit down at a piano, and I'd just write the songs. Right. I'd read through it. I'd get kind of a meter in my head from how this is flowing, and then start thinking of melodic ideas. And I just hit a chord and go, maybe I'll start there, and then it kind of dictates where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Where when you have music pre-written or some riff idea or something like that, and you're trying to come up, you have to twist it. It's like you're paying you don't have a big gymnastics. You don't have a small enough frame.
Yeah.
When you have lyrics, you got a very small frame, and you're going to fit the music in that small frame. But when you start with the music, these lyrics can be anywhere, so it's not compacted enough to narrow it down quickly. So anyway, I think typically the best songs are lyrics first, because they say something, because you wanted to say that thing.
Yeah.
And it's all built upon that. And the music can support that, because when you say the sad word, you're going to a minor chord, things like that. And right before that, you've hit the diminished, right before that. So that's the way I look at it as well.
And it depends, on and I agree, like that's my process as well. Something that I've been recognizing as well, where the music is just a way to tell this. It's just a backdrop to the story. It's a way to at least provide some more emotion to this, what would otherwise be spoken word. And along with that, it helps. I forgot there was a documentary I watched. It must have been for the Avett Brothers, where they were talking about like their songwriting process that I really appreciated. The music for their music, if you've ever listened to them, tends to be pretty simple.
We probably saw that documentary.
Yeah, we probably did.
Because what we got out of there was that everybody in the band has to have a job, otherwise they aren't going to stay in the band.
No,
well, they're sad too.
They have to have a job outside of playing their instrument. So what do you do for the band?
Yeah.
And that was kind of a that's kind of true.
So anyway, so you were talking,
but the music's pretty simple and similar for their music, but it's where they really kind of hit you is the lyrics, is the stories that they tell and the ways that that they tell them, and that's something that I've really taken away, because as a musician we also kind of get into our minds that we need to be this we have to do something very unique. We can't use we don't want to use the same chord progression that all the other, musicians use, because then it's not going to be, it's not artistic enough, or the artistic part of it is, just more diminished. And I think just kind of letting go of that and just internalizing what you really want to do with the music. And that's, for some people, like, I want to tell a story, and that being the focus, and letting the music kind of fall behind, fit it as well, and not letting yourself get caught up in, the music.
Well, we're going to hear from you now. You're going to play something for us. What are you going to play today?
I'm going to play the single that we recorded here in the studio, called Mrs. Weatherstone.
Go get your...
I got her over here. We are going to get out of the way.
I think one of the cool things, and Tom and I, when we heard you play this at open mic, at the very end of the song, Tom and I both looked at each other and were like, that is a song that needs to be recorded. So
it was, we don't want to be here in the picture.
No, we're going to get out of the way.
Well, one thing I do want to say, kind of part of the music writing process as well is it's iterative. Even this song went through iterations where there were lyrics and I'd sit on them for like weeks and have to like change something because it just did not fall. Like it just did not, I didn't like the way it was,
being presented.
Exactly.
And no, it's a fantastic,
it's a beautiful song.
All right.
And you'll hear it tonight as an acoustic piece, but boy, the recording, there's violin on it.
Yeah.
And there's drums. There's
Tom did it, and Tom's probably going to be a little humble here, and so did Greg. Did an amazing job with the violin, but Tom did with the instrumentation and the mixing, just an incredible. Like, the song was not anything that I ever expected it to be, and it was just that much better than, I don't know how to, like, it's just amazing. It was an amazing experience listening to it for the first time.
Awesome.
Yeah,
all right.
It was great.
Do you want him to be up closer?
Yeah, you can scoot a little closer.
So enjoy, Luis Martinez.
All right, this one's called Mrs. Weatherstone. But not to him that day, and you buried all your pain down Appalachian Way, and you'll never leave this state, even with all the dreams you've made. And in a motel by the highway, you're just waiting to get paid. Franklin call you late night for their sins, and you take their calls and wonder if you'll ever love again. For there's one man you think about when you close your eyes and pray, and as you slave over another one, well, it's just another day. Well, there's nothing holding you as you wait for the next one to come down. So you crush a little ketamine, take the edge off of your memory, and you wonder if you will ever leave this town. And you wonder if you will ever leave this town. Friend calls and says it's an emergency, but that's just the price you pay for work in Tennessee. and a tattoo on your back that you'll reveal for just a fee of a lover that may never set you free. And you are better than this world you're living in. You want to leave but don't know just where to begin. You're just wishing through the loneliness of men for the day that you won't have to sell your skin. The lake where the man you loved had drowned. So you crush a little ketamine, take the edge off of your memory, and you wonder if you could ever leave this town. And you wonder if you could ever leave this town. And you wonder if you could ever leave this town. A child and alone, and you're thinking maybe it's time to let go. With that tattoo that so many men you've shown, well, it's a lie that reads Mrs. Weatherstone. Oh, it's a lie that reads Mrs. Weatherstone.
Yeah, it was so good.
We take it from
Yeah.
That was so good.
Thank you.
So, so when's the release date of the song?
Oh, hopefully soon. I'm just working on trying to get some, presentation done for it, or just an album cover, really.
Good,
but
good.
once that's done and I feel good with it, then
So around the New Year time, you're thinking, or
I keep telling people first half of 2024.
oh,
but
good.
hopefully,
Yeah.
We'll see soon. Well, just because I think the amount of time between, even if I were to send it to be,
Oh no, I mean December is a really hard time to release anything.
Probably,
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to do this big, end of year splash. But we've never released anything in December. I don't think, have we? It's always been
no.
August, September, or
We
October.
did January.
We did a January,
Yeah.
one time. So yeah.
But yeah,
So
hopefully soon.
what's next for you?
I'm still writing.
Yeah.
I think I honestly don't know.
We're gonna.
I know
be
we're
in the
gonna probably
studio.
gonna work on the song.
We're gonna work on a song tonight.
What's this one called tonight?
I think I've.
No.
Oh, we're not gonna know, yeah.
No, it might be. So I think we're gonna do Before Him, which is the other one that when I say it's popular, it's just only pop. Wherever I've played it, it seems to have gotten more of a reaction from people.
Very good. Oh yeah, that's a good testing place. Is all these open mics too?
What's the one that you played last open mic as the closing?
Reflections of a Summer Day. The one,
oh yeah,
which is the one I play with Adela on cello.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so Adela was playing with you that one time. Yeah. I really like that one too.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, it's been great to have you.
No,
anything else that you'd like to share today, or where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram currently. Songs by Luis is the only place I have, but it will be where I will share the release of Mrs. Weatherstone.
And we'll make sure that we do that for you as well.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And when you do release the song, maybe we'll have you back in the studio too.
Oh, no, I'd be excited for that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it'd be great to do a little release and have a little glass of whiskey or something like that.
A celebratory.
A little
yes.
drink to say congratulations.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here with us today, Luis. Hopefully you all have enjoyed seeing him and hearing him perform today. And if you are around in Illinois this week on Thursday night, please join us at Pollyanna in Roselle. 6:30 sign up and 7 p.m. start.
Yes.
Please like, share, subscribe our channel, and click on that notification bell so you can stay connected with us at all times.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr.?
No. I think you said everything.
Oh, I didn't sing. I
said I was just the bystander
I didn't sing
tonight.
it though. Ready?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Mondays in the studio.
Maybe we need to have a little bell thing.
We do.
Ding,
Bum,
ding,
bing,
ding.
bing. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.